everybody. Y'all and everyone get some lunch. There's no audio to the room for this. This is simply for our live stream. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. My name is Laura Williams. I'm the CEO of InSync Media, and me and my team are so excited to have you guys here today. So I'm going to do some introductions, and then we're going to keep going. Before I go too far, I want to say a welcome to everyone who's joining us live. We're streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, 3 or 4 different pages, as well as LinkedIn. So thank you to Drew for handling that. All right, so introductions. We have our speaker, Allie, and Allie is our senior social media manager, and she handles all of our social media for InSync Media, for the Chamber, and also for all of our clients. So you're going to get to hear from her today. Then we have Josh in the back. You can raise your hand. Josh is our senior SEO account manager. So you're going to hear from Josh today about how social media and search engine optimization work together and what you guys can do to improve your SEO or your visibility on search engines through social media. All right, we have Chelsea. Chelsea is our web designer and graphic designer as well. So anything website related, she is the gal. We have Kathy is our business operations manager. Kathy keeps us moving the right direction. She handles all the books. She makes sure that everyone gets paid. She's really good at her job, and I am so grateful to have her here. And then we have Miss Rachel. Rachel is our summer intern, and you're going to get to hear from her a little bit later about her experience working as an intern under Allie this summer in social media. All right, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Delphine. So Delphine is, you probably know Distinctive Delphine. She's one of our amazing realtors in town, and she's also the co-publisher of the Montrose Living magazine. How many of you guys are familiar with the Montrose Living magazine? Awesome. We have a couple extra copies back there. InSync Media is now an expert contributor in the publication starting in August, and we're so excited about that partnership. And Delphine is our wonderful lunch sponsor for today, so thank you for lunch.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Ooh, I feel special now. Well, thank you, all of you, for coming. We kind of put this together when we were talking about the expert contributor and what the community really needs and what we wanted you to learn and what we thought you might want to learn. So I'm personally really excited about this because I don't know about you, but I hate social media. And although you're really good at it lately, Jordan is doing such a good job with you. But I watch a lot of you on the platforms, and I really try to do my best to post content that is relevant and that helps. At Montrose Living, we love to focus on branding and, again, adding really great content and value to the community. So you're actually going to see a great article this month about your website from InSync Media. We can't wait for you to see and read about it and really learn more about what's important in this world that we all live in. But thank you all for coming. Enjoy the lunch. And if you are interested in being in Montrose Living, whether it's a feature like the beautiful Jill over here, who's on our cover for July, or if it's a story of someone that you know that does fantastic things in the community, and again, it adds value to the community, please let us know. We'd love to highlight them. Luke is at the back. You can talk to him about Montrose Living as well. And then for any real estate needs, I'm your gal. Real estate is really tricky sometimes, and it's always, everybody thinks it's easy until you have negotiations and issues, and then that's when they all call. So anyways, that's my specialty, is really to navigate through these challenges. So thank you so much for being here, and let's learn some social media tips.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Delphine. All right, and if those of you that are joining us virtually, we have our final InSync Media team member, Megan, who is our senior. Oh, hi, Virginia. I just noticed you. So Megan is our senior content manager. She does all of the writing, edits, wrangles our entire team of content writers to make sure we have all of our content done on time. Megan's here answering questions virtually. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube through Distinctive Delphine, or on LinkedIn on my personal profile, Laura Williams, you can interact with Megan on there. Okay. We are going to do a little icebreaker. So as some of you came in, I mentioned sit towards the front because we do have a reward for those that choose to be brave and sit in the spit zone. So 2 people have a sticky note underneath their chair, and what, 3? Oh, 3 people. 3 people have a sticky note under their chair. So Or under the table? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Under the table. Okay, so we have a shirt. Let's see, I put them right there on top. All right, who else got a? So we have a shirt win right over here. We have, what sizes do we have? We have a large and extra large. What would you prefer? This is a large. Yep, okay. Perfect. Thank you. All right, who else got a sticky note? All right, you get a green screen. So I want to see amazing things coming from your social media because it pops up and it sticks to the back of your chair, and then you can do a whole virtual background behind you. You can be on the Bahamas on an island. You can be in Greece. You can be anywhere you want with that green screen. All right, do we have one more?
There should be one more of the shirt.
All right. Just double check under the table. Any more? Oh, there might be oh yeah, if someone's sitting next to an empty seat, check under there. Okay, well, if you find it later, you have a t-shirt. Okay, did I catch everything for the beginning? Yeah. Okay, I think that's all. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the lovely Miss Allie, and she is going to teach us all about social media. So let's learn.
All right, I have this right here. Yeah. All right.
Go ahead and get the password for the internet.
Yeah, it's AV Public is the network, and AV Public. And then if anyone wants to connect, the password is going to be Montrose with a capital M, and then PDAV, all caps, at 434. Yes. Yep. I memorized that. Sorry. Yeah, it's AV Public, and then Montrose, capital M, PDAV in all caps, and then the @ symbol, 434. Yeah. All right. So, like Laura said, my name is Allie Rogers. I am the social media account manager for InSync Media. And a lot of the times when businesses come to us and discuss social media, there's three main things that are keeping them from doing it, right? One, they know it's important, but we're doing fine without it. We don't really need it, that sort of thing. Two is they don't really understand how to make social media work for them. Or maybe they tried it before and it just didn't yield any results. Maybe they just don't have time. As a busy business owner, they often don't have time to get the social media done. And the third one is they just don't like it. They just see social media as something that's toxic or fake or too much of a focus today. And that is why we've created our social media programs. So we actually have a couple different options for social media that we offer here at InSync. One of them is the DIY program. You can see it on your sheet here. It's the do-it-yourself, the Social Media Essentials course. So basically, this is a whole course we've been putting together over the past year that has several modules in it that dives really deep into the different posting strategies, how to make time for social media in your busy schedule. It also talks about how to make a community of very loyal, positive people that even when you get those trolls or those people who comment negative things on your post just because, a lot of the times as you build up this positive community, you get people who are willing to go to bat for you and respond to them in the comments and be like, that's silly, like what? So that's the first one, is our Social Media Essentials course. The second one is our Social Media Accelerator. Now this is our group coaching program. It's starting on August 3rd, our very first one here, and we'll go into more details on this later. But essentially every single quarter we have 3 months of group coaching that you can talk one-on-one with me. You still get access to the Social Media Essentials course, and you just get a lot of feedback and accountability there. And then our third option is social media management, done for you. We just learn about your business, learn about what you do, and then we take that time to post for you, do all the strategy for you. All you need to do is get pictures to us and we can do the rest. So in this Lunch and Learn in particular, we are going to kind of go over the basics of the things that you guys will need to at least get started on social media. So the very basics of the different things that you can do right now, today, when you go home. So, very first thing we need to do is determine what platforms we're going to be on, right? There are so many social media platforms out there. Ones not listed are like Twitter and Pinterest, and now Instagram Threads is becoming a thing. So we usually advise people starting out, start with 5 platforms. The two, Google Business Profile and LinkedIn, are ones that we believe every single business owner should have, even if you're not trying to grow. Google Business Profile is great for SEO, and LinkedIn is great for building professional relationships. Facebook and Instagram are both platforms under the Meta universe, and they are two of the more popular platforms here. So we always advise that you at least start with those two as far as consistent posting goes. Now, TikTok, we always advise that if you guys are on Instagram and you're doing Reels, which are the videos for TikTok, or videos for Instagram, which we'll go into a little bit more later. If you're already making videos on Instagram Reels, you might as well post them to TikTok too. So it's good to have more of a presence in more places. And no, you don't need to dance. All right, so let's go over some definitions here for you guys today. So the first one is going to be algorithm. Now, this is like a big, spooky, mysterious word. Nobody really knows how social media algorithms really work. In our Social Media Essentials course, we dive in a little bit on how you can kind of work around it. But basically, it's the code behind each social media platform that determines who sees what and when. So if you'll have noticed, like if you're ever on social media and you're scrolling, you see like a cute video of a dog, right? And you like that video. And then you go on and you start notice you're seeing more and more videos of dogs or pets or cats or whatever. That's because the algorithm is picking up on the types of content that you like to see. So you're going to be seeing more of the types of content that you interact with. And it works the other way as well. So if you're posting for your business, like life insurance or where are you? I saw someone with like beauty, that sort of thing. People who are interested in your niches are going to be more likely to see your posts. So we want to post for those people. Next definition here is Reels. I just mentioned this. This is basically Instagram's video platform that's on the app itself. And video is really important right now. So in the past, there wasn't really a good platform for viewing video, at least on Facebook and Instagram. It was just, post your pictures, your graphics, your text posts, whatever it was, and you could do well. Well, nowadays, video is becoming so important to the algorithms that they are actually boosting video posts much more than they are picture posts. So if you guys start working on social media, kind of scrolling through and kind of getting an idea of how Reels works and what types of content is being posted there is going to be really, really beneficial because you're going to see a lot more engagement, which is a word we're going to talk about soon. You're going to see a lot more engagement with video posts than you are with photo posts and graphics. All right, so engagement, this word right here. So engagement is basically the number of likes or comments or shares or link clicks that your post gets. So usually I like to determine success on social media by the amount of engagement and reach, or the number of people that are reached by your post. Those are the two most important elements, more than followers, more than anything like that, although followers help increase your engagement and reach, but that's not what we want to focus on there. So even clicking on a picture, or if you guys have been on Instagram and you swipe to see multiple pictures, that's called a carousel post. Any interaction with your post from a like to a swipe counts as good engagement. The next thing are hashtags. We get so many questions about hashtags. That's kind of like this strange, mysterious thing. So what are they? They are basically the focused keywords of social media. If you guys know anything about SEO or search engine optimization, you know that when we write content, we use certain keywords so that people can find us on Google. So hashtags basically help tell the algorithm what your post is about, what your page is about. And essentially they just look like this. One word or one kind of multiple words but condensed into one kind of string there with a number symbol in front of it. And this basically just helps with searches. So if you were using the hashtag, if we're using our example from earlier, dogs or life insurance or something like that, if people were looking up those topics, they're more likely to find them with hashtags. Now recently, there has been some developments as far as how the algorithm likes to view hashtags. Before, especially on Instagram, a lot of people are using these big, long strings of hashtags, right, with multiple, like 15 to 20 hashtags that just are this big block of hashtags, right? But more recently, the algorithm is sort of updated and sort of changing, where now it's a little bit more subtle. So while hashtags are still important and prevalent, making sure that most of your keywords are actually written out in your caption or using relevant photos are going to be a little bit more helpful. But that doesn't mean we don't want to use hashtags, right? But this time, instead of using maybe 15 to 25 hashtags, we want to use more like 5 to 15 hashtags from here on out. So there's a couple different ways that you can determine which hashtags you should be using for yourself. So one is to the first step is to just make a big list. Just brainstorm all the different keywords and topics and ideas that might relate to your business. So for example, we have life insurance, or we have maybe eyebrow waxing, or whatever it is that you guys do with your business, making a big list. But we can't just stop there, right? We need to kind of figure out which hashtags are going to work best for us. So this is where our high, low, and medium competition hashtags come in. So low competition hashtags are hashtags that only have 1,000 to 500,000 posts in them. That means people are using them, but they're not super common. The next one is medium, which is 500,000 to 2 million, and then high competition is 2 million plus. And we always want to have a good balance of a variety of these hashtags. So we don't want all of our hashtags to be high competition. We don't want all of them to be low competition either. So basically what that means, high competition is just there's a lot of posts, it's easier to get lost. Whereas low competition, there's not as many posts, but the hashtags also aren't as popular. So that's why it's good to have a balance. If you're ever trying to decide between two hashtags, I usually advise doing the medium competition hashtag, so that's right in the middle. It's kind of the sweet spot. But essentially, the way you can determine this is after you've made your big list of hashtags is looking them up. And I usually use Instagram for this. Facebook usually has these numbers as well. But you can see here, there's these like little gray text beneath each tag. And that tells you how many hashtags or how many posts have used that hashtag on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. So after you make your list, you just kind of separate them out into high, medium, and low competition groupings. And then you'll have that hashtag string that you can literally just copy and paste onto every single post. Now, one thing that we do want to do is always make sure we also are using maybe 3 to 5 unique or specific hashtags that are very unique to the topic that you're posting about. So if we were posting about beauty, we would use, because we have this beautiful company right back here, if you guys were posting about maybe eyebrow waxing, right? In general, your posts are most of your hashtags are gonna be things like skincare or that sort of thing. So it's something that are very relevant and general to your business for these low, medium, and high competition hashtags. But if you're making a specific post that's specifically about eyebrow waxing, you're going to use that for your unique or specific hashtag. For us, if we're a digital marketing agency, so we use digital marketing or marketing agency in our general copy and pasted string of hashtags, but we use social media tips for a post that gives you a social media tip. Does that make sense? Okay, and if not, you can ask me at the end, and I can explain it better.
I have a question.
We will have, okay, yeah. No, you're good.
Oh.
Go for it.
So when you said you can cut and paste
Uh-huh.
like the whole mess of hashtags you have, is that the same as like, when you type it in and then it like populates down so you're actually tagging that post in your, when you're typing it out and then you see it and then you click on it, so is it the same as when you just cut and paste all of them?
Yep, it'll do the same thing.
Okay.
Yep, you can copy and paste right in there.
I know like when you tag a person and you put their name in there, it doesn't unless you like erase it and type in.
Yeah, so if you can just copy and paste and it'll pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so next question is, what the heck do I post about? This is one of the biggest things that we get asked all the time is, what do I post? Like, I have my social media platforms, but what do I even talk about? So there's a couple different ways to kind of figure out what you can post about. And the first thing is to get inspiration from other accounts in your industry. And this is where your hashtag list can kind of come in handy. So if you have, social media tips as one of your hashtags, you can look that up and then look through all the posts that have been posted under social media tips. And what we want to do is we want to find a post that has high engagement. So that's high, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of shares, that sort of thing, and use those posts as inspiration for ourselves. You can always take somebody's ideas so long as you're making them your own. That's pretty much what social media is. There's not really a creative or unique idea out there. Everyone's thought of something before, right? So kind of reusing what other people have done is a really helpful way to get more ideas. Also, if you're making graphics or videos, I know we're not all super creative. Not everyone is, and that's okay. Using other people's posts as ideas for either graphic layouts or for maybe angles for your video or photo, using other people's inspiration is very, very helpful. The second thing we can do is use AI. So let's go a little bit deeper into AI here. Here at InSync Media, we use ChatGPT for content acceleration, or making content quicker, coming up with ideas quicker. You can see the website for it right up there in pink. But when you're generating ideas with AI, we want to try some general ideas, and then we also want to try to be a little bit specific. So having a balance of both is going to really help you get a lot of ideas for your social media posting. You can also ask it to include hashtags and emojis, and we'll often do that for you. And then just make sure you play with it and also edit it afterwards, because this is a robot. They're not always perfect. All right, so as an example here, I kind of put an example of a prompt that I did for InSync Media's social media. So very first, the first prompt I put in was, give me ideas for social media posts for a digital marketing agency. And it gave me something very, very generic that just talks about, we're a digital marketing agency, come to our website, that sort of thing. And that's fine to have general posts like that. It's good to have a balance, but I wanted something a little bit more specific. So to that prompt, I added to educate my audience. And it gave me a bunch of prompts and that sort of thing. But the one that caught my eye was to educate my audience about social media captions. I used that to kind of further my prompt to about how to write social media captions. And it gave me something that was still a little bit generic, and I wanted something more specific, something with more substance that we could post about that could really help our audience get more information about, okay, well, what about social media captions, right? And so I said, with prompt examples. And then it finally gave me what I wanted, which was a tip on how to write a social media caption with an example that other people could potentially use for themselves. So AI is a really great way to not only speed up your content creation process, but also get ideas. All right, now all of this is great, but I don't have time to do it, right? So a lot of the times we suggest that we, as the businesses, post 2 to 3 times a week. Now this is this is like on the minimum end. You don't want to be posting less than that. You can always post more. You're always going to get more engagement if you post more than 2 to 3 times a week. But really, if you think about it, that's only 10 to 12 posts a month. So what we suggest for people who are very, very busy and don't have time to focus on social media is to schedule out one half day once a month to schedule out all of your posts for the next month. And really, once you kind of get the hang of things, it should only take about 3 to 5 hours to make 10 to 12 posts, especially if you're using AI to help you. So if you just schedule out one half day to focus on creating captions, get videos, get photos, you can go onto either a third-party scheduling platform like Later.com or Hootsuite. You do have to pay for those. The Meta platform also lets you schedule for free, so long as you have an account, to both Facebook and Instagram. And you just literally choose the date and time that you want it to go out, and then it just does it for you. So you don't have to worry about it after you create that initial content. You see here I have this spreadsheet. This is kind of how I usually like to organize my content, just so I can see it all in one spot. So we've got the date, the visual type, which is photo, graphic, reel, the content, which is the caption, and then a column for the visual content name. So I usually keep all of my photos and videos in a separate folder, and then having that name right by that caption just lets me remember which one goes with what. And that is all I have for now, but we are going to bring Josh up to talk about social media and search engine visibility and how that works together. Yes, we'll have a Q&A at the end, so it'll be good, yeah.
Okay, by the way, though, there are plenty of food here at another box of wrap sandwiches, so please.
Yeah, if anyone wants more food.
Hello, as I was introduced earlier, I'm Josh. I'm the SEO account manager for InSync Media. I'm the only guy that works there, so pity me. My part of this presentation today is how search engine optimization and social media come together to create a cohesive strategy for your business. One of the questions that I was asked to answer for this presentation today was how effective use of social media changes your business's visibility on search engines, which is a great question. One of the primary things that we want to keep in mind here is that traffic's the main goal for your website. We want to make sure that your social media is complementing your website not only in a content manner and a brand voice manner, but also in a manner that sends traffic to the website. What Google wants to see in order to rank a website is not only keywords and a good structure for your website, but they also want to see traffic that is getting the answers that they desire on your website. So not only are we using social media to give Google an idea as to what your topicality is, we're also using that as a medium to send traffic to the website in order to have Google see these good metrics of people hanging around on your website and navigating around and getting the response that they really want to have. Next point here, credibility begetting success. So one of the hallmarks of SEO is making sure that you seem credible online. One of the ways that's done is through a concept called citations. Now, citations in general there are thousands of different websites out there on the web whose whole point is to make sure that you are listed with your name, address, phone number, and maybe just a brief description of what your business is about. The more you get of those and the higher quality of those you get, the better off you are generally. So getting more and more citations or these listings out on the web is to your benefit. Social media acts as one of those citations. If you've gone out and put out the effort to claim an account on, say, Instagram, Facebook, or any other social medias, LinkedIn's an important one, that shows that you have gone out and made sure that no one can use your brand against you and that you want to seem credible. You want to seem very legitimate to anybody and everybody that comes across your brand. Social visibility leads to the most natural links. So one of the other hallmarks of SEO is building links into your website. You want to make sure that other people are using their websites as an avenue to lead to yours. The problem with that is that's faked a lot of times anymore with SEO, and social media can lead to that very organic style again. We want to make sure that people who see your content online and these posts that you're creating are creating that buzz that you were really after with your business, that are talking about it, sharing about it with their friends. And maybe you get that mom blogger out there that writes that blog post that links over to your website because they really liked the product that you have or the service that you provide. That's the goal there. You want to make sure that your social media supports and gives a good idea as to what you guys do, so that link sharing can start happening at a natural level instead of you guys having to pay for links to be built to the website, which is how SEO works in most ways anymore. If PR weren't so artificial online right now, this is the number one way that would work. Oh, hey. You can scroll up too, what do you know? So, why is it a Google business profile something that's so important to your business and SEO? So Ali mentioned this a little bit ago. This is something that used to be called a GMB or a Google My Business. You guys may have heard of that. What does that mean for you guys? How is that a benefit? Well, there's two sides to the benefits, at least to start out here. So one of the things that Google does is if you guys go put out a search, especially for something local around town, it'll give you a little map right at the very top of your search results. It'll show the 3 closest businesses to you or maybe the 3 best rated businesses to you. That is important because not only does that show reviews and address and give people a means of finding your business in a very geographical sense, it also gives you the benefit of being seen at the very top of search results, which a Google business profile can only provide. The other side of that is also acts as a citation for us. It acts as that link where we've gone out and put out that effort to make sure that we appear legit online, because no one else can go and claim this and use our own brand against us. Google, of course, is the largest search engine out there right now. I would say that above 80% of traffic that goes through a typical search engine goes through Google. Now, the times are changing. Bing and the AI platforms out there are robbing some traffic off of Google. There's no doubt about that. But even still at this moment, Google is the #1 search engine out there. So we want to make sure that we take advantage of that the best way we can. Lending to legitimacy, as I mentioned a little bit ago, this acts as another citation. So we want to ensure that we have made ourselves present online and using the tools that Google gives us. One of the things that Google really likes to do is it loves itself. Anything that Google owns or participates in or gives to you as a tool, it loves, and it wants to see you using that. So if you've gone out and used a tool like a Google Business Profile to add to that legitimacy that we've been speaking about, then we're in a good spot. Google will trust not only you, but its own tools quite a bit more. This is another reason that YouTube's a great thing for your business, because YouTube is a Google property. By going out and creating videos and adding, expanding your profile there has a lot of effect. So there are a lot of people out there who are growing as a business, and they are evolving out of Facebook. A lot of people can run an entire business off of Facebook or social media alone. But what happens when you go out and you try to create a website and Facebook or Etsy or a number of other websites that you can operate a business on still rank higher than your own website? So a couple things to keep in mind are Facebook is the biggest website on the web. All the tools that I have right now points to Facebook being the biggest, not only in terms of size, but in terms of traffic, in terms of people visiting day to day. We want to leverage that as best as possible. The second thing is history's hard to forget. Google will always keep what's known as a cache of different things that it's seen across the web. This is whole websites, this is history of rankings, this is a number of different things. So when Google has it in its head that your business operates on Facebook and then someone goes out and searches your brand, it's going to remember that your business is associated with that Facebook page. And it's going to take just a little bit of time in order for Google to get over that. Now, the way Google wants to work is it wants to give any search for your brand directly to your website. It doesn't want to favor a Facebook page, but that history is hard to overcome. The last point here is a user experience is crucial. So let's say that you've built a website or you have an old website and it's just really poorly done. Maybe it's got really slow speeds, maybe the images load really slow, maybe it has just a really crappy structure. There's a number of different things that Google could count you out on as far as your website goes in terms of performance. So if that performance is really low and Google doesn't like your website, it will continue to send traffic off to that Facebook page and give that #1 ranking. So you want to ensure that your website is to the highest performing level possible in order to have Google trust it and have traffic be sent over to your website. No doubt when you're operating a website that you yourself own for your business, you don't have to give anybody else a cut. Maybe if you have a Shopify, you have to pay a Shopify fee or however that works, or Etsy paying a due to Etsy for using their platform to sell your things. But when you have your own website, you have so much more control. And therefore, that's the benefit of going out and getting your own website. So you can just keep more of that money day to day instead of sharing that with whatever platform you're on.
Tripped over a cord. All right. So what now, right? Like we went over the very basics of social media and that sort of thing. But what can you do next? Like what can you do right when you leave here today, or even right now before you leave, right? So the very first thing is if you don't have any of social media accounts, especially if you don't have those 4 that we talked about, Facebook, Instagram, Google Business Profile, and LinkedIn, go and make those. As far as making your accounts goes, in order to have a Facebook business page, you do also need to have a personal Facebook page. That's kind of how it works, is you make your personal page and then you can make a business page that connects to that. On Instagram, you just make a normal Instagram account and then convert that to a business profile. As far as LinkedIn goes, you also, kind of similar to Facebook, need to have a actual personal LinkedIn page, and then you can make your business page off of that. However, do note that you need to have at least 1 network connection on LinkedIn before it allows you to make a business page. So if you're having troubles with that, that's probably why. All right, next thing you can do is go ahead and make 10 or more content ideas for the next month. Just go ahead and either use ChatGPT, do that brainstorming kind of process that I talked about earlier, where you look at other people's pages and products and see what's been successful and try to make it your own. And you don't even have to make the graphics or photos at this point. Just come up with the ideas, write a couple captions, and just kind of get the ball rolling there. Next thing you can do is form an Instagram hashtag block or string of hashtags, about 5 to 15, like we said, using a nice balance of high, medium, and low competition hashtags. And then maybe also think of a couple, unique hashtags that you could use for specific posts in the future. And then 2 more things here is we have a couple freebies for you, as on your sheet of paper there in front of you. You can go ahead and get those, signed up for those right now if you would like. We do have a social media 30-day challenge, which is going to walk you kind of through the process of optimizing your page, getting ideas for posts, making captions, that sort of thing, and just kind of walk you through step by step in 30 days of how to post to social media and getting a couple things just out there at least. We also have a social media review management course and a resource library that has all sorts of other great information in it that you can go ahead and sign up for right now, and that's totally free. You can just use it. No, that's going to be blocked off, but the QR code is on your sheet. So DIYing social media. All right, so if this is a very basic kind of overview of all things social media here today at this Lunch and Learn. But if you really want to get more details on hashtag strategy or on how algorithms work or on how to actually build that positive community that I was talking about earlier, this is all talked about in the Social Media Essentials course. Currently, we are offering it for 50% off. So instead of $299 for a lifetime access, it's only $150. And you can always go back and reference it. We're committed to keeping it updated. So if anything changes about the algorithms, which happens all the time, you can go ahead and take a look and see if we've updated our strategies on how to approach those things. In the future, we may also be adding a section for Instagram threads if that ends up growing and becoming a bigger deal than it is now, if you guys were just curious about that. But also, first 5 people to sign up today are also going to be able to get a $10 Starbucks gift card if you're interested in that. So if you sign up today, you can go ahead and talk to the team in the back there and just show that you've signed up, and we'll give you a Starbucks, which is great. Okay. Next thing we also can do is the Social Media Accelerator. So if you don't want to do the course all by yourself, we do offer, like I said, that group coaching, and our first session is starting on August 3rd. You can go ahead and sign up also on the QR code there. It has the full sign up thing, and it'll give you the schedule of each session. I believe it's the first and third Thursday of each month. So these are just going to be group sessions. We are currently only accepting about 10 people per group, but we're going to be doing this every quarter. So if you don't get in the first one, that's okay. You can wait until the next quarter and start again. And this is just a really great way to get accountability and make sure that what you're posting is right and that you're writing captions correctly and that you're using the best hashtags that you can possibly use and just making sure that your strategy is really up to par. It also gives you a chance to talk with other business owners and talk with me and get any questions answered right there for you in real time. So, yes.
Recording these sessions, so if you sign up for the accelerator, but you're out 1 or 2 of those weeks that we have scheduled sessions, they'll all be recorded.
Yes.
And shared in the portal, and you can go back and reference those later.
Yes. So people who are on virtually who maybe didn't hear that, we are recording the session. So if you miss one, you can go back and watch it. But currently, this one's going to be $1,500 for our very first session starting August 3rd. After that, it'll be $1,800. But in this first one as well, we're also offering you can bring one other team member with you without an additional cost, whereas in the future, we are going to be charging for both people. Or it'll be a slight additional charge. Yeah. Okay. So that is all I have for you guys. We have, actually, just kidding. We have our intern to come up and talk really quickly, just so she can let you guys know a little bit about her experience, and then we'll jump into a Q&A for the last bit of our time here.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm the social media intern. I'm going into 10th grade this upcoming year. I really like graphic design and that kind of stuff. I've taken some classes for it at the high school. So it's just kind of something that I've really enjoyed. I'm going to be an editor in the yearbook next year, so this was kind of something that I was hoping would preface that and help me expand my skills a little bit. Along with that, I would like to go to a really good college, maybe an Ivy League type of thing, after high school. So I was hoping that an internship would help me expand my professional skills and my social skills, and kind of teach me the types of things that I would need to know for a college like that and for future jobs and things like that. And I don't know, I've been doing it for the summer. I've had a really good experience. I've learned a lot of things. I've learned how to make like graphics. I've learned how to write emails in a very professional manner. I've learned how to kind of create content that will be viewed by people in a good way. And yeah, I've had a really good time learning things. I've never really felt judged. It's always been like a very oh, you don't know how to do this? It's okay, we'll teach you. Like, here's just how you can do it. And even with like clients I've seen, even when it gets really frustrating, Allie's very patient. She's always like, it's like totally fine. Like, we'll just teach you how to do this. Yeah, so it's been a really good experience and I've learned a lot.
Thank you. All right, so thank you, Rachel. I'm glad you've had a good time. All right, so now we have, let's see, about 15 minutes here for Q&A. If you guys would like to go for that, we can discuss anything you might have. Yes?
I have a question. When you're using multiple platforms, do you stick to the same content on each platform, or does it work better to switch it up and use one for more serious, one for more fun?
Yeah, so just to repeat your question for the people who are online, basically she was just asking about how, like, if you want to use the same content on multiple platforms or switch it up depending on the platform. And my answer to you would be that it really just depends on how much time you have, because you still on every platform want to try to be posting 2 to 3 times per week. So for a lot of people, posting different content to different platforms isn't exactly viable. That's a lot of content to create, right? That's a lot. And it's not a bad thing to do that. It actually kind of helps encourage people to go to all of your different platforms rather than just sticking with just Instagram or just Facebook because they know it's going to be the same on both sides. So if you have the option to post different content to different platforms, or maybe do a rotation of like in July you post the same content to Instagram that you're posting to Facebook in August. Right, and maybe just like swap the two. That's an option as well, just to kind of get people to visit cross platforms. But it's also, I know, not viable for everybody to have that time to create 2 to 3 posts for every single platform. So typically, we just advise that if you get a scheduling platform, you can just make one post and schedule it out to all of your different platforms that you're on. And that's usually, it's not a bad thing to do that at all, because you'll just get different audiences on both platforms. One way that you can kind of add a little bit of interest to maybe someone following you cross-platform from Facebook to Instagram is to use Instagram stories. Now, for those of you who don't know, stories are 24-hour posts that you just put up on Instagram that are temporary. So you can add extra value to your Instagram or to your Facebook by posting different stories to both of those platforms, because it takes a lot less time and effort to plan those out. A lot of the times a story is just like a quick snapshot or something that's not going to stay up permanently on your page, so you don't need to really curate it as much as you would a normal post. So if you're worried about that, that's a solution there for you. Yes?
That's why I had a question on stories. We all know it's 24 hours. I've been told that you should never really let your stories end, so you always have a continuous flow. But then I've also heard that it's good to like take a break, have it be, so when you do the next story, it like boost engagement. Is there anything with that?
Yeah, so it once again just comes down to the amount of time you have. The more stories you post, actually just in general, the more content that you guys have the ability to post, the better. So it's never going to be a bad thing to do like 5 to 10 stories a day. That's not going to be bad at all. That's probably going to help give you a little bit of a boost. But it's definitely not necessary. If you want to do like 1 story a day, that's fine. Even 2 to 3 stories a week. The engagement rates typically sit about the same. You don't want it to post too many stories super close to each other, because like you said, sometimes the engagement will fall off, because anyone who's been on stories will know that there's usually a lot of tapping as you like go through each and every story, and it's like kind of a process, and sometimes people get bored and then just swipe out. So giving it like a couple hours between each one, because we get on social media multiple times a day. There's always new content coming out. So giving it a little bit of time between each one, or making it really engaging to move on to the next one, is probably going to be your best bet. But it's definitely not required to always have stories on all the time, especially if you don't have time to make that much content. Even though stories are easier, it still is a little bit of a time suck there. So, yeah. Yes?
So I'm in the process of self-publishing a book.
Okay.
It would be nice if somebody would buy it.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice in terms of what would come first, creating my own website or doing the Facebook website sort of approach?
Yeah, so if you're self-publishing, I would probably advise starting with social media, though a website could definitely be beneficial because you can get the SEO, get your website found, get your book found, that sort of thing. So both are going to be important. But from my own experience, because I'm a big reader, is on social media there are different communities, and this is what we talk about a little bit more in the Social Media Essentials course, is the different communities that you can be a part of. And these are all different industries that are very niche to you and your business. So for you, there's, it's kind of a funny little thing, but it's just how it works, but it's called Bookstagram, which is a hashtag that some people will use, and it's for the book community. Now sometimes it's fiction, nonfiction, it could be any genre. So including those hashtags for the genre that your book is about, using that Bookstagram hashtag and maybe looking at it, seeing what other people are posting to get inspiration for how to promote your book is going to be really helpful.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah. We'll go with you first.
How long are each of the courses, like the social media, the accelerator, and the management?
Yeah, so the Social Media Essentials course, there's a lot of modules in it, and we're working on adding videos, but right now it's just text, so you can briefly scan things. But they're all very short, easy to digest lessons that kind of break things down. So really, just however long you want to spend on the course is how long it's going to be, and you can always go back and look at it. The Social Media Accelerator, which is the group coaching, is 3 months long. Like I said, it's 1 quarter at a time. We do about 10 people per group. And then the management program, I believe it's a 12-month requirement. Yeah, so 12 months just because it takes time, especially if you're working organically, which means you're not putting money behind your posts to boost them out to more people. We work on organic growth with our social media management platform, though we can do some ads and boosting the posts if you need every now and again, especially for big events and stuff. But that's a 12-month commitment just because it takes time to get the ball rolling. So especially if you guys just are starting out, don't get discouraged by by slow growth. That's totally normal. Very few people suddenly go viral overnight. So just so long as you stay consistent, the algorithm and your community will appreciate it.
Perfect. So the Essentials course is more self-guided?
Yep. Yeah, it's totally DIY. With the Social Media Accelerator for the group coaching, you do get access to the course as well. So you can kind of go back and forth and reference it and ask your questions, and we'll work through that together.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
So question on she mentioned posting on different content on different. So if you have a Facebook page, my Instagram and Facebook are linked. So what I post on Instagram feeds to Facebook. That's my personal one. And then, are you saying to post then something different for business, or are you combining the two? Are you talking about your business on your personal page, or are you talking that on just the business page?
Yeah, you can do both. So typically, when I talk about cross-platform sharing, it's usually business page to business page. But if you want to boost that even a little bit more, you can absolutely share it out to your personal audience and your personal friends and that sort of thing, and your personal profile just in general, just to help your business side get a little bit more engagement. And the algorithms love engagement. They'll boost your post the more engagement you get, so it'll reach more people that way. So typically for the cross-platform sharing, I usually share the same posts across the business platforms, but you can absolutely share them out to your personal ones as well. I would just, in that case with the personal ones, share it from your business page, so using the share button instead of posting a separate post on your personal page, if that makes sense. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
Yeah, does using the chat .openai, is there an expense to that?
No, I believe it's free. Yeah, it's free. So I don't know if there's like a limit that you eventually have to pay for, but it's
told that it's just in a beta stage.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's every time I've used it, it's been free, but.
So there's a free version and a paid version. So the free version is called ChatGPT 3.5 model. The paid version is ChatGPT 4, and that is $20 per month. Now there are so many people using ChatGPT right now that it does hit usage limits, and you're more likely to be able to get in and use it if you pay for the account versus using the free account. Okay, I'll repeat that for the virtual. Oh, is it kind of okay? So yeah, there's a free and a paid. The paid is $20 per month, and the free is free. And I've hit usage limits before, even on the paid version. So if you're going to be a GPT power user, then it's definitely worth it to go ahead and just pay the $20 a month to use it. Another really good one that gives you more options is called Jasper.ai, and that one is really good. It's going to give you more functionality around it, better prompting. It basically builds all the prompts into the platform for you, so you don't have to learn how to build a prompt. The big thing with using AI is knowing how to build a prompt. You can't just say, write 10 social media posts for me. That's going to do nothing. You need to be very specific, ask it to use non-industry jargon, so you don't get something really weird sounding. You need to include the tone of voice that you want. There's a whole lot in the freebies here. If you guys sign up for the freebies in the resource library, I have a whole lesson in there on how to craft a prompt for ChatGPT so that you get the best possible outcomes. There's actually 2 lessons in there, as well as some different example prompts that you can use to play around with it. You want to use any kind of AI as a tool. It's just another tool in your tool belt. It's not intended to, it shouldn't be intended to replace that real human connection that we all crave. And at the end of the day, social media is all about human connection. And if you can use a tool to help you get over a mind block or a mental hurdle about what to post or how to craft something or how to wordsmith something, maybe you're not a wordsmith and you struggle with writing, that's fine. There's tools out there that can help you get over that hurdle. But at the end of the day, let your heart shine out, because people connect with people, not machines. So don't forget that part of it.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any recommendations on researching ideas for keywords or hashtags to use, whether just trending hashtags or industry specific?
Yes. Okay. So recommendations on posting topics and hashtags. I will go back to my hashtag post here. So in this very first screenshot right here. So first thing you want to do is to kind of get started with brainstorming hashtags and topics is to at least come up with at least one hashtag that has to do with your industry. And I would hope this would be easy for most people who are working in their businesses, right? So the first thing you want to do is, look up at least one hashtag. And then we want to find a post with high engagement, right? Because if there's high engagement, that's highly likely that they've reached a lot of people. And then a lot of the times, not all posts will have hashtags on them, but some of them will. And you can just simply, to gain inspiration, is simply look at the hashtags that they're using. Now, so long as they're not branded to them, you can go ahead and use these hashtags because because it worked for them, it'll probably work for you too. So if you're having a really hard time coming up with new hashtag ideas, you can just go ahead and look at the hashtag strings of other people and go ahead and check those out, see what the competition levels are like, and that sort of thing. Yes?
I have a question about where to put your hashtags. Do you put it in your post or in the comments section?
Yes. So there was a time when a lot of people were posting all the hashtags in the comments. And I did a little bit of experimentation and research on this about a year ago. So essentially, having hashtags in the comments isn't necessarily bad. It's just you get a lot more power from your hashtags if you actually put them in the caption. They're a lot more effective that way because it lets you know a little bit more about what the actual post is about versus what the commenter is about. And a lot of times, sometimes that lines up, but we all know comments can get crazy sometimes. So the platforms usually put a lot more faith in hashtags that are in the actual captions. Yes, good question. All right, anybody else? We have, it's time, but we can probably take one more question if anyone has one. No? Okay.
We're going to be sticking around here, our team here, for the next half hour. So if anyone has something you want to chat with us one-on-one about, SEO, Josh is here, social media, web design here with Miss Chelsea, Delphine. Yeah.
Well, I also wanted to say, because sponsoring this event as well is the virtual chamber of Montrose. And so what I wanted to tell everyone is that that virtual chamber to join is free. And when we talk about SEO and really helping your presence online, that's another account that you can brand yourself really well and add yourself to completely free. So make sure you do that. But as the virtual chamber grows, we have a lot of business owners here, and we'd love to know what, as a business owner, would you like to learn. This is how this idea came about, and we'd love to bring more value and, again, education opportunities to the community. So please tell us what you want to learn about and what would you like to see from your virtual chamber. Even though it's virtual for your presence online, we want it to have more togetherness and be able to add value to your business. So tell us what you need to help.
Thank you so much, Delphine.
Something to add to that.
Oh, yes, she has the mic.
Chelsea, we got Chelsea up here.
I'm here. Okay. So while also working for InSync Media, I'm the creative director for the Montrose Virtual Chamber. And we've introduced a new event system to the virtual chamber. You may have seen it on our homepage. If you are an active chamber member, so you have a free account, it's free for Montrose County. We want to prioritize Montrose County specifically. But if you're a chamber member and you sign up and join our Facebook page, you can co-host events with us, and it will automatically add your information to our homepage. So events will automatically show on our Facebook page and on our homepage. So feel free to take advantage of that. If you have questions, hit us up online. We're always there. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Like Laura said, we'll be here for about 30 minutes if you had one-on-one questions that you wanted to talk with any of us about. And
take another sandwich.
Take another sandwich. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much.